Good morning. Happy Father's Day. Woo-hoo. Ready? Let's do it. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley. Look at this new aisle. Why is there that aisle there? Oh, I know. Because we are actually not in the Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley today. We're in the Dogleg Creek Civic Auditorium. Yeah. I don't know how many here were at the play last night. You know, I got to tell you, I was in the middle of finalizing the talk for today, and I looked at the clock and went, oh my God, it's almost 7. I got to get going. And I'm so glad I came out. It was a delight. Where's Dorothy? Dorothy, you are a talent. You got some skills, babe. The way you presented the play, the theme idea, that we're all hanging out and watching our neighbors audition. Yes. And poor Ron's wife, Edith! She's just, right?
Oh.
And you got another week?
One more performance this Saturday night coming up. I'm going to sell tickets out here. I might even have a little raffle, give a couple of them away for y'all. So come, and if you saw it, tell your neighbors. I know I saw a lot of you out there. But we loved it. And you know, Reverend Steve, I want to thank you.
Here, let me, because people at home are probably going, what is she saying? And because we got to remember they're watching there too.
Well, you know what I want to say is thank you and the center, because you provide this container for those of us creatives to blossom and to shine the light on spirit as creativity and humor.
I would just like to make one correction to your comment. I don't do it. We do it.
We do it.
Because we are inclusive. We bring everybody together. And this is your center. It belongs to all of us. So, like, parties for your family. Who here has had parties in the classroom? Huh? Not today? Because I know... Well, you're going to have one.
Big birthday coming. Big birthday.
Birthday parties in the classroom. You want to do a group setting, have a friends over for a conversation around something. Maybe you want to have a movie night with just some of your family and friends. If you're a member of the center, members have its privileges. Now, if you're not a member, you got to come to Discovery class. It's happening in August. Become a member so you can do those kind of things because this place belongs to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Reverend Stephen. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Final show. So do come out. We promise you tons of laughter, wasn't it?
Yeah, I laughed at it a little bit, yeah. It was wonderful.
Oh!
Now you gotta come to find out what that means. The gift came out of the closet while he was
finally
here.
came out of his
shell. All right. Well, thank you, Dorothy, so much. Thank you. All right. We got a lot of other stuff going on. Oh, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, all the moms who do fathering behavior, anyone who has been a father to anyone, a mentor to someone. We want to acknowledge that. And did you know that Father's Day, while it's sometimes you might think, oh, they had Mother's Day, so they wanted to come up with Father's Day, to be complimentary to that, it was sort of that and sort of not. There was this woman, Sonora Smart Dodd, Spokane, Washington. Her father fought in the Civil War, and his wife passed on, and he raised her and her siblings. And he was the mega super single dad. And back when single dads were not celebrated for being single dads. And so she wanted something for him. So that's what it came out of. It wasn't like, oh, there's a Mother's Day, so let's have a Father's Day. It was, no, my dad is so special because he raised us. He did mother and fathering. And so I'd like to acknowledge him. And that became Father's Day. So it's got a little deeper than just, Hallmark said we need to have another holiday. No, not like that. It's a loving daughter who said, let's honor my daddy. Yeah. And it's Juneteenth. Juneteenth coming up this week. It is a national holiday. It's now known as the Juneteenth National Independence Day. So we are a nation kind of like my mother. My mother's birthday was December 13th, and then she decided she was tired of getting birthday gifts and Christmas gifts combined. So she moved her birthday to June 13th so she could have 2 birthdays. And Americans the same way. We want 2 birthdays. So we have Juneteenth, which is our summer birthday, and July 4th, which is our summer birthday. But here's, the deal with it, right? 1863, Emancipation Proclamation. Most of the enslaved people in America found out they were freed, except for the poor folks in Texas. They did not know. And nobody, you know, they were slave owners. They weren't like, hey, guess what? You're free. No, they were like, shh, don't tell them. And they didn't until a guy named General Granger landed in Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865, with a copy of the Emancipation Proclamation, and then it spread across Texas, and suddenly another 250,000 black Americans became free black Americans, and that was the beginning of Juneteenth. And as I was studying it this week and remembering that, I realized I had two friends in college. I went to college in Texas. I had two friends named Granger. And I always thought, well, that's an interesting name, Granger. Now I know why. Granger was named, they were given that name to honor Colonel Granger, who carried the Emancipation Proclamation in. So this week, good time to celebrate freedom in America and also to dive down into the ideals. I mean, we know that the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights was written by people who owned people. They enslaved people. Yet at the same time, this ideal was in their mind that all men are created equal, even though they knew that in their lives they were not experiencing that. We can have that same experience in our own lives. We know the ideal, even though in our experience we're not seeing it. And that's part of the Science of Mind teaching. So in many ways, what we're seeing is an opportunity to deepen our understanding of principle working over precedent. All right? So those are just some of the ways. Doglet Creek, Father Celebration, loving freedom, and giving the space to anybody who is a member of the Center for Spiritual Living. You can come here and have your parties and have a good time because it belongs to you. And this is how we put our vision and our mission statement into action. Are you ready to verbalize that action? Let's do it right now. Here it is. We're a community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do, which is prayer. And we have one of the stars of the show, but practitioner today, no drinking on the job.
No problem.
Reverend Nancy Fuller.
It was holy water.
Holy water.
So join me in consciousness, knowing in this divine, beautiful, holy moment, there's only one thing happening. There's only God, Goddess, Mother, Father, whatever name you call it, divine wisdom, love, infinite light, the life that we all are. We know this morning we come together in community to uphold and uplift each other. We know we are serenaded as if we were in heaven this morning by Alberto and the band. Heaven right here on earth. And we know that Reverend Stephen is that divine, beautiful channel for wisdom and humor and love. And that whatever we need is right here, right now. So knowing all of this is true, knowing that we are community in action, in loving action, we let it be so, and together we say, and so it is.
Let's stand and sing.
Yeah, you had too much fun last night. Can you hear me? No? Can you hear me now? Okay. Hi, Cosmic Kids. This is Cindy of all ages. This is Cindy Joy, your captain speaking. Today is Father's Day, a very special day, a day to celebrate anyone in your life who has made a difference in your life. It could be your father, your stepfather, your uncle, your cousin, anyone in your life who has been protective, strong, caring, patient, anyone that has been that way. We want to celebrate them today. So go ahead, stand up, Cosmic Kids. It's time to rev up your engines and let's go. Nancy. Hey, Nancy.
Psst. Drinking on the job, just saying.
I think she was having a holy moment.
Oh, I didn't even bring my reading. It's in the Science of Mind magazine there. That,
Big night last night, huh, Nancy?
I got a hangover, I was waiting for Alberto because he was doing this, and I thought, anyway. Here. Good morning. So I will read the affirmation, and then I will ask you to read it with me. I gratefully release the weight of things that do not serve me or bring me joy. Together. Gratefully release the weight of things that do not serve me or bring me joy. All right. My reading today is from the Science of Mind magazine, May 5th, 2024, by Reverend Ryan Alexander, who we met in South Carolina and was on the panel with Reverend Stephen. Learning, not leaning, learning toward the light. For me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously toward a better self. The journey doesn't end. Michelle Obama, from her book, Becoming. Sitting in the shadow, we may not really believe there is any sunshine, but the sun would be there all the time. It is there, but we must awaken to it. Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, page 37. This is the writing by Reverend Ryan. We have a giant monstera plant in our living room, actually a monstera delicioso. For all my plant nerds, and you know who you are. This particular plant, or at least the one we cohabitate with currently, is enormous. When we first placed it in the room, all of its leaves were facing in one direction, plastered against the wall opposite the window. I noticed one morning all the leaves swaying in the other direction, leaning toward the light that crept in through a window. Now, I know this is not a new discovery. We know plants move toward the direction of nourishing and life-giving light. But isn't that exactly how we also operate? Our true nature, our inner urge, our invisible passion calls us to lean toward the light of truth, the light of revelation, the light of transformation. Just like we have to rotate houseplants as they move in search of the light, we also experience our own life in this gentle kind of rotation. We are called to bring our scraggly leaves out of the darkness, our leaves of fear, doubt, worry, misguided beliefs, stories we created, and point them in the direction of the light. In the light, we can see them for what they truly are. Things crafted in darkness, longing for the light. Each day we awake with intention. Each second we find ourselves in meditation. Each interaction with our neighbor. Each time we pause in quiet reflection. Each step we take is an act of rotation, an act of revelation, an act of leaning toward the light. The affirmation was, I am open to the inner urge and passion that live within me. And so it is.
Thank you, Nancy. Now we've got Alberto, Pino.
Thanks, man. Good morning, everybody. Happy Father's Day, and I am not playing anything about Father's Day. I am playing something that is in appreciation of black music, because this month is Black Music Appreciation Month. And so I decided to play a couple of blues. And I don't know how many of you knew this, but why do we call it blues? Does anybody know? Okay, well, the term blues actually comes from, allegedly, because scholars are not all together in accepting this version of the story. But mainly, they think that it comes from a farce that was written in 1798 by a George Coleman, and where the title was The Blue Devils. And the Blue Devils was to mean melancholy and sadness. But then eventually, after this farce was played in theaters everywhere, it became something that signified withdrawal from alcohol, because that's where you get your sadness and the craziness from withdrawal. And so, little by little, blues, the Blue Devils, were associated with alcohol. And then eventually, in history, I mean, the word Blue Devils got shortened up in blues. And it was always, ever since, it was always associated with alcohol and with, everything that comes with alcohol. And in fact, the blue laws are the restriction on Sundays in some states. So, having said that, I'm going to play a blues. It's called At Last by Etta James. you. Thank you. Thank you. Woo.
All right. Thank you, Alberto. So beautiful. It's time for our gap meditation. 3 minutes. Our God awareness place. I will bring you in, and Sherry will bring you out. I'm going to ring the gong. Or the bell. Something. Bye.
I am in the darkness. I am in the light. See me if you can. Everywhere I am.
3 minutes. Before service, we do 20 minutes. I would invite you to come at 10 o'clock. It's really beautiful. There was like 20 of us in here this morning, and it was really beautiful. But even if, as in my reading, you find yourself in meditation for a minute a day, you're immersed in the light at that time. So I invite you to make meditation a part of your day.
Come on. Thank you. Come on back up, Alberto. Is there a, okay. We need to, for sure.
Right, second piece, it's blues that I composed, and it's called The Mouse Trap.
Alberto del Pino. Man. Thank you, Darlene. That's beautiful. I was going along with that. I was thinking, yeah, that works. My mind is like a mouse trap. Little thoughts, little critters climbing in, can't get out. Trap, trap, trap. My mouth is like a mouse trap. Yeah. Oh, that was lovely. And at last, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's lighten the load. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Yes, indeed. How's your boat floating, though? Is it tracking low in the water? Are you carrying a heavy load? Are you carrying a load that might not be your load? Have you accepted ideas that are not your ideas? Are you holding on to stories that someone else told you and you put it in your cargo in your boat? So as you're rowing your boat, even though you're going gently down the stream, maybe it feels like you're pedaling upstream because you're carrying such a heavy load. Because the song is metaphysically perfect. Row your boat gently. Don't rush through life. Life is easy. It's supposed to be happy and joyous and free. And lightly, right, down the stream, not up the stream. We shouldn't be fighting all the activities that are going on, particularly fighting ideas in our minds that carry a heavy load. It's time for us to do our own work to lighten the load. right? We've been talking about decluttering, but one of the things we don't think about decluttering, defragging, lightening up some is all the thoughts we're carrying around here. Even things that we don't work with anymore, there's still a residue of those thoughts. Have we really cleansed those? Have we cleansed the lenses of perception, as, oh gosh, which one was that? Blake would say. Have we cleansed the lenses of perception so that we can see things as they really are and arrive at the first time and see them as if we've never seen them before? Can we actually do that? Only when we can ask to have them received, and asking from a perspective of total expectation. The wise wayshower did say to us, ask and ye shall receive. But many of us ask like, oh, please. No. It's asking from the science of my perspective, from the Holmesian way. Declare, claim. I'm asking because I expect this to happen. I'm just being polite when I say ask, right? But I know, my belief is that it shall arrive in my stead, at my time, in my life, through the consciousness of awareness that this is my gift to receive. But have our beliefs been usurped, interrupted by some of that stuff that we're carrying in our boat, some of those other loads that other people dumped on us or that we accepted? You know, I mean, it's Father's Day. Dad says something, you go, yeah, and you believe it because he's like the king. He's got the answers. But maybe not, because he had parents too. You know, and they brought stuff too. And we're just getting to the point, you know, we were talking in our class last week about Emerson and some of the knowledge that he bestowed upon us. And Ellen brought out to us in the class that it was pre-Freudian. So maybe some of the stuff he was talking about was ego. Was he an arrogant person? No. But what he did do is he planted the seed for us to understand that there's something more in consciousness that we get to figure out. And then Holmes distilled that some, and then Freud distilled that some, and your local psychologist or psychiatrist who on a couch paid you $250 an hour for you to distill a little bit more of it. And suddenly we get to this point where we understand that we are in control of our thoughts. We get to lighten our load. We get to make those changes in our lives. But sometimes the beliefs that we've taken in, well, we begin to take on some of the unreasonable ideas of others. And then that leads us to have irrational feelings about our beliefs. And then we move into a space of doubt about our beliefs. And then suddenly our beliefs become superstitious because they're not locked in a trust. They're not locked in expectancy. They're not locked in a faith that knows from the inner knower that this is mine to do. You see, it's not irrational for us to have our desires fulfilled. It's not unreasonable for us to want what we want. And sometimes our eyes ask for more than we can handle. Just think about Thanksgiving and filling up your plate. Or the upcoming barbecue. It smells so good. That grilled eggplant for all you guys that went straight to meat. I know, I'm a carnivore too. But I do like a nice grilled eggplant. And a mutton sandwich is a little, no, I'm sorry. So sometimes we get too much. We start to carry a heavy load. We take on too many ideas. We start to carry a heavy load. We buy too many things because we can't get our load fulfilled, so we try to find another way to satiate ourselves. See, the universe will allow us to have too much, will allow us to carry too much, will allow us to buy too much, will allow us to hold too much, will allow us to clutter too much, because the universe has this unique situation where it can only receive and return that reception with, yeah. Mark Anthony Lord says it so well. I love Mark Anthony Lord. He says, think of the universe as a yes machine. Its only response it ever gives is yes. That's it. It can't decide that you shouldn't have this or you shouldn't have that. It doesn't have that ability. The law is plastic and it's immutable and it is a principle, therefore it does not judge. It simply gives. So if you're carrying old ideas, if you're carrying a load that doesn't belong to you, if you're carrying a thought that has become irrational or unreasonable in your own mind, yet you're still holding on to that thought, the universe can't figure out the distinction and go, you know, they've been working through this, they let it go, and I'm not going to give that to them. No. You still have a belief in it. It's still going to show up into your life. It's still going to show up into your life. As a result of that, some of us may be feeling hypnotized by some of those ideas. We might feel maybe a little brainwashed. We certainly sometimes feel that when we're watching the news these days, don't you? You watch what's going on, you think the other side must be brainwashed. And you're thinking, you must be brainwashed. And you're both hypnotized by your side. There's something deeper happening for all of us that are sleepwalking through life. There's an opportunity to wake up. But to wake up, we must start re-listening. Not just listening, re-listening. And I say re-listening because we must re-examine. We must look again at some of the things we've been believing and see if those things are they reasonable or unreasonable? Are they rational or irrational? We have to have an examination of some of these ideas. And it's easy to get to that space of where we start to back away from what we want, start to back away from what we believe, start to hide behind all these heavy load carrying things that are floating in our boat with us. You know, when you're a baby, you're an infant, it's so cute. Look, they want more cornflakes. Oh, look, he wants another toy for Christmas. Oh, and it's all great. And as an infant, you're just getting it. You just like, I want, and they give. I want, and they give, and they give, and they give, and they give. Then one day your mom says, must you have everything? Your dad says, I can't give you that stuff. Your grandpa says, you know, you're being kind of selfish. Next thing you know, your desires and your wants start getting put away. We start to question, why do we want everything? And do we even deserve everything? And our want gets mixed up with guilt and shame and fear, which is sheer. Thank you. Doing my best here. I was at the play last night too, but I did not have holy water. But you know, when it gets mixed up all like that, when your wants and your desires, some of them are reasonable, rational, and reality for what's going to bring you the highest joyous expression of life, when you're wanting that stuff, but it gets mixed up with all of those things, all those mixed messages that come along, then your ask for gets gunked up. Your asker gets gunked up. It gets confused. It gets, and because you don't want to make waves. And you don't want to make mommy and daddy mad. You want them to love you. You don't want them to leave you at stop and go when they get in the car and drive off. And you're still wanting to buy candy. And where are they gone? No, you don't want to be that kid. So you say, okay. And then you become an adult kid. You're still a kid, but you're still carrying, okay. Programming. The inner voice gets shut down. We stop listening to that thing, not this thing, that global thing, you know, because it's a mind, body, emotional experience we're having. Triune nature, spirit, soul, plant, you know, spirit, law, body, form, beginning, middle, end, moral, curly, and no. But there's always the three. There's always this three thing happening, and we live in that experience of that three thing happening, but sometimes we lose access to it because of our programming, because of our conditioning, because we're sleepwalking. And not like my cousin Todd used to do when he'd end up at the refrigerator in the middle of the night. No, not that kind of sleepwalking. I'm talking about consciously awake, but not realizing our dreams. Wow, what a disappointing way to be, you know? Living in that space where our feelings get judged and we start to accept it. Our feelings about our wants get judged and we start to judge our wants as well, where we stop getting what we really need. We start getting too much to satiate or to make ourselves feel better for the things we don't get. But if we can take this time to re-listen, dive deeper in, something interesting can happen. Marie Kondo talks about it when she's talking about just real stuff, things, but thoughts are things, so they're objects too, right? When we really delve into the reasons for why we can't get something, let go of something, there are only two things happening here: an attachment to the past or fear of the future. When we really delve into the reasons why we can't let go of something, there are only two things happening: an attachment to the past or a fear of the future. That attachment to those old stories, those old negativities, those old limitations that come up, right? Or our fear that we won't get what we want. So we'd rather just stay asleep. We just keep on doing what we're doing. We keep carrying a heavy load because we're used to it. It's just the way I am, all slumped over. But if you start letting it go As people are saying when they're starting to drop their stuff off for the sale, I've been holding on to this for the longest, and I let it go, and I felt so good. The other day I was going through my books. I let go of 500 books. I felt so good. Felt so much lighter. We get lighter when we start to waking up, but we don't like to wake up. We don't like to wake up. We don't want to face up to it, you know? I mean, a lot of us, thank God for the snooze button. That's why they created it, because we don't like to wake up, physically and emotionally and mentally either. We must understand that waking up will hint to us and give us an entryway, a space to start to examine why it is we have the wrong stuff in our lives, or why we have too much stuff that's helping to create the mess that's in our lives. So to free ourselves from the sleepwalking habit, we must begin to release some of those objects, release the limitations, and release some of the distractions that keep us away from the higher level of joy in our experience of life. Objects that have that keep our fears alive. And sometimes our fear is not, interestingly, sometimes our fear is not of the unknown. Sometimes our fear is the fear of losing the known. It's like, I like this. What happens if I don't have this anymore? Don't worry. The universe with the yes machine has you covered. You will be okay if you let go of stuff, even things that you think you know that you cannot do without. Because it's an infinite universe filled with infinite possibilities. There might be some better known waiting for you that's unknown to you now until you get to know it. Did that work? Sometimes I listen to myself and I go, did I say that? What did I say? But in order for this to happen, we have to use one of my friend's favorite words. I always talk to a friend of mine named Ben. I said, Ben, how you doing? How's life? How you feeling? Teachable, he says. Teachable. For us to get beyond some of these things that I'm talking about, to move from these attachments to past and future existences, we must open ourselves up to a higher level of teachability. We must be willing to learn something new, even if the only thing we need to learn is it's time to let go of what was old, right? And that requires us diving in. This is why we have the 3 minutes in the service, why we have the 20 minutes before service, why there's a moment of quiet when you're with a practitioner before they pray. They say, let's pray, and then they get quiet, and then they begin to pray. Because we have to have a moment to allow the knower within, the infinite knower, to come out and speak to us, to inform us, so that we can get to that space of clarity. Because remember, the yes machine, right? The universe cannot decide this for you. It's only got it all. And when it's got it all, it's the procurement warehouse just fills the bucket with what you send, what order you send. And the quiet moment is the opportunity to get clear about what the order is that you're sending in. And sometimes that order includes things you don't want. I have a couple of renewing subscriptions for things I order. Maybe you guys have some of the similar things. It's like a list that every month, that's what comes up. And you have to go in there that month and click, no, 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 or that will come again next month. And you're like, wait, I don't need any more of that. I got enough of that. We have to get quiet and so we can know to unclick some of these items so the universe doesn't fill that order again automatically for us. And then our boat gets heavy and we can't row it anymore because it's tacking water. It's even taking on water. Now you're bailing, and that's the mess. That's the mess in life, right? But this wonderful author, Joshua Becker, who has a website called Basic Minimalist or Becoming a Minimalist, he says that once we let go of the things that don't matter, once we let go of the things that don't matter, John, then, once we stop talking to Kathy, John, once we stop talking to Kathy after Stephen has said you 3 times, Mesialco! he's still wait, no, it goes this way. John plays the accordion for all those, and he's actually really good at it. What? Don't give too much away. Well, I shouldn't have said he's good at it. Okay, he plays the accordion. Find out whether he's good or bad. That was the director speaking. Okay, back to where we were. The knower that knows the universe is going to deliver the order no matter what, but you want to make sure you don't get things you don't want in your order. You must get a little bit quiet because the joy of that, the promise of that, the result of that, the reward of that is, boom, once we let go of things that don't matter, we are free to pursue all the things that really do. But first you got to make some room. You got to take some stuff out of your boat. And once you do that, then you can wake up, drop the load. Check out some of the new stuff. Because see, due to this hypnotic habit that I'm talking about, we sometimes, as I said, we've stopped listening. We've stopped questioning. It's like the folks that were in the raft floating in the ocean, and they were dying of thirst. And they could see the land not too far away, but no matter how hard they rowed, they couldn't get toward the land. You know why? Because there was this river coming out from the land that was flowing so far out into the ocean, the current, they were fighting that current. But you know what else they didn't know? That river had surrounded them with fresh water. They were in the middle of the ocean, but there was fresh water because of the flow of this river. They had never thought to dip down inside there and take some of that up. We must realize that we are living in a current of divine flow, constantly bringing us our good. But how often are we so busy carrying these old ideas? We're in the ocean, must be salt water. We don't take the time to dip our bucket in and maybe test it to see, is it fresh? Is it new? Is it different for us? Can we get something new out of it? We are surrounded by happiness. We're surrounded by joy. We live in a space of freedom. We're surrounded by peace. Think about it. They take the soldiers out of a war zone. What's left? Peace. You walk out into a forest and you're having a great time, and suddenly you hear this radio blasting, some kids guffawing, then you hear a couple car doors clunk, clunk, then the engine turns, and then you hear the tires, and what's there? Peace. The peace was there all along. The joy is there all along. The happiness is there all along. We have to just recognize it and make the space for it, for the things that really do matter. So you ready to lighten your load? You want to lighten your load? Now, one of the tried and true things is to, of course, do affirmations. That's a big one for lightening the load. I love affirmations. I love afformations, where you ask a question of the affirmation, all that stuff. That's really good. It allows us to immerse ourselves in the divine flow, to get some fresh water from around our raft. That's great. But sometimes we don't have all that space, or maybe sometimes it doesn't work because there's all kinds of messages in our head. But there's this other thing that I've come across. It's been known by a lot of different people, but I love the way Mark Anthony Lord lays it down. It's called the full-bodied yes. Because remember I was talking about we take on things emotionally, we take on things mentally, we take on things physically. Those ideas. Before we had language, it was emotional. When the parents said, you can't have that, but you're an infant, and all you can do is go, ah! At that point, your disappointment becomes emotionally embodied in your, right? And then you get a little bit older, you got some verbal skills, but not quite enough verbal skills, and you say, but I want, and you say, no! Then your words get shut down. Oh, now it's in your mental space, right? And then sometimes a little bit older, you want it, but you can't reach for it. They go, I won't get that for you. Now it's in your body, it's in your physical space. So sometimes when we want something new in our lives, or to release something old for our lives, we might have to try to release it or get it from those three areas of our being. So think about the idea from a mental space, from an emotional space. How does it feel? How does it feel to have that in your life? Yes. One. What do you think about having that in your life? Yes. Two. Right? What's your physical self say about that in your life? Yes. 3 yeses. Full-bodied yes. Go for it. Really nice, huh? Full-bodied yes. Get 3 yeses, go for it. Because Ernest Holmes tells us in the wonderful little skinny book, Freedom from Fear, he says, if you are to find a new life, a new freedom from your damaging reactions to life, it becomes obligatory to create a new and affirmative outlook. Affirmations, new affirmative outlook. Being quiet and listening, new affirmative outlook. Full-bodied yes. New affirmative outlook. And when you can do those things, you can lighten your load. And so it is. So, right? Yeah, try that. You know, we've all seen our dogs do it. They're like, right? They go all the way down to the very end. You know, they shake it all the way off, right? Yeah, yeah. Here we go. I gratefully release the weight of things that do not serve me or bring me joy. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go into this prayerful moment and think about what you're ready to release that does not serve you. What are you ready to release that brings you, or to accept that brings you joy? Let go of what doesn't serve, or accept what brings you joy, or gratitude for more of what keeps you at that place of super happiness right here and now. So as we go into this moment of deep prayer and beautiful contemplation of just what is life itself. What is the infinite presence. What is the infinite knower. What is the universal idea of yes. Yes, we are one with this presence. Yes, we are one with this life. Yes, we are one with one another. A very important aspect. We are in community. We are in a collective space where we all experience the possibilities of happiness, the possibilities of joy, the possibilities of freedom, the possibilities of peace. And through the process of re-listening, through the process of letting go and healthy accepting, we allow happiness, joy, peace, freedom to come into our lives. Abundance, fulfillment. It happens in relationship. It happens in our employment space. It happens in our living space with our family. It's the healing energy that brings mothers to sons and daughters and fathers to sons and daughters in ways that they had not ever experienced before. It brings a healing to the planet where the national leaders come together and see a commonality, a common way through that brings them to that space of peace, joy, happiness, and freedom. We're simply knowing right here and now that by this word spoken, by the collective idea held in this room, those realities become the experiences of more and more on this planet every single day. So for the joy in knowing this, for the sure belief, for the rational, reasonable understanding that this is the reality and it is so, we allow it to be so through our gratitude as we release this prayer into a perfect law by saying those wonderful words of the finality, and so it is.
I am light. I am light. I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 I am light.
We're living in a joyous experience here at CSL Simi Valley. We're on the eve of our 40th anniversary, and the state of our community is delightful. You felt the thriving, joyous energy in this space? You felt the thriving, joyous energy in this space? No, something magical is happening right here now. I saw the Facebook give you those, memory things. When I first got here,
Now he's completely gone.
one of my first weeks here, and it came up this week, and everybody's in the room, and they all had their hands up, and they were enjoying everything. You guys are all excited. New leaders here, yay! That energy is back. Yes, it's back. It's like some new leader showed up.
Stephen? Stephen?
Stephen, I think your mic is off.
There. But you heard me. Yeah. But it's now. I'm not going to say all that over again. So at home,
Sorry.
turn on the captions. Play it over. All right, so let's switch gears, though. I am really excited about what's happening for us. It's really wonderful. And one of the ways that's happening is because we have really been financially supporting our community, and that allows a certain lightness to show up when we know that we're financially solvent. Let's continue to have that energy of solvency and abundance for our center so that we don't have to go into a place where we're like, oh, gosh, what are we going to do? No, we don't live that way. We live in knowing that the universe says yes. It says yes to your giving. And when you give, ye shall receive. Now, I don't want you giving thinking you're going to get something back for giving. Like, if I give $10, I'm going to get $20 back. It doesn't work like that. But when you give, you will get an energy back in you that fulfills you in such a way that you bring more abundance into your life. That's the law of circulation happening. Don't be afraid to give. And if it hurts to give, that's even better. Think about how many things it hurt to give up. How hard it was to lose that extra 10 pounds. How hard it was to get the 15 miles so you could run the marathon in the marathon race. Those little extras that you have to sweat to get to give such rewards. And the same thing goes with your tithing to the center. If it hurts, it's good. Those are the ways. And then we affirm it with these words right here and now. Divine love. It's doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for the world. Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley, and me now. Divine love prevails. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Sherry, for the mic announcement, for the music underneath the announcements coming up. Thank you to the ushers for your service, and we really appreciate that. Oh, we got a couple extra ushers because we got a different arrangement. Thank you, being on the spot for that. All right. Pay attention to what's happening. Come out Wednesday. We're having a great time with Lectio Divina. It's a blast.
And what I see is yes, yes, yes. The universe saying yes to this beautiful community through this infinite supply of money, wealth, infinite love. And so it is.
So I know Alberto mentions that it's Black Music Appreciation Month. I have a list of all the musical styles that have been influenced. And we've got, even though I don't believe what he said about the blues. Okay. Blues, jazz, rock and roll, funk, soul, hip hop, disco, house, techno, country, pop music, spiritual, gospel, rumba, bamba, samba, which we will be doing this next song, calypso, and then these two I don't know. Anybody? Soca and cumbia.
Cumbia. Oh, yeah.
Reggae and R&B. So we'll start with a little samba. No rehearsal, by the way. All here. This is just a little samba built upon one single note. Other notes are bound to follow, but the root is still this note. Now this new one is the consequence of the one we've just been through, as I'm bound to be the unavoidable consequence of you. There's so many people who can talk and talk and talk and just say nothing, really nothing. I have used it for the skill, I know when I feel I come to nothing, really nothing. So I come back to this one note, as I must come back to you.
Oh, yeah.
I will pour into this one note all of the love I feel for you. Anyone who wants the whole show, let me do. He will find himself with no show. You better play the note you know. There's so many people who can talk and talk and talk and just say nothing. I have used it for the skill, I know when at the end I've done nothing. So I come back to this one note, as I must come back to you. I will pour into this one note all of the love I feel for you. Anyone who wants the whole show, play me for solatido. They will find themselves with no show. You better play the note you know. They will find themselves with no show. You better play the note you know. They will find themselves with no show. You better play the note you know.
Thank you. Sure it is.
Thank you, Alberto. That was twice the speed we rehearsed it at, too. Missed the other day.
That was fun. Wow. That right? Exactly. It's well said. That was beautiful. Sherry Deeds, you would. Lovely beat you put underneath there, Randy Jones. I like it. It was beautiful. Let's give some more love to our guest musician, Alberto, and the Soul Purpose Band. Steve Fowler, Bob Townley, Randy Jones, and Cassandra Merlos background singing today. Oh, man, you guys. Do we got some great music in our center or not, right? Oh, it's just lovely, lovely. Greg and Pat, thanks so much for leading our service team today. Lisa and Jack, thank you for jumping in and supporting us too. Glenn, great work on the stage. You're working it. Olivia's doing total solo today. We sent Gregory home. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's Dagestanian up there in the booth. John, Mizialco. I tell you what, we can get you some blind. We're gonna. What's the captain's horse's name? Snowball. We'll give you Snowball's blinders.
Hey, I'm thinking next Sunday we might want to remember, I'm just saying that everybody's a little loopy this morning.
Oh, yeah. We might. Yeah, she said we might just want to rehearse or something. Everybody's going to be half asleep. All right. What else we got? Oh, the Cosmic Kids. Isn't our Cosmic Kid Galaxy captain? Now, you had your flight plans got waylaid, right? Because you didn't have any kids today?
Yeah.
They stayed home for Dad's Day. Got it. Yeah, but it's really, we're now also promoting with our Cosmic Kid program that our music director is going back and teaching them a song, and they're really loving that.
Yeah.
And so if you know kids that have that kind of lilt to their life that like to do music, invite them to be a part of our Cosmic Kid program so they can learn some music as well. That's part of it. And Kathy Burt's going to be in the office, and we thank the fellowship with Lena and Darlene in the fellowship list today. Thank you so much. Now, we got a few things coming up we want to talk about. One of them is the the drum circle. Oh, yes. This Friday's the drum circle. Come on out. It's in the classroom, 7 o'clock. Burl will be here. Burl will be here to do some drumming with you. So come on. Yeah, I don't even know if I can even say Burl. I did it, Burl. Because it seems like Burl, it should just be like Burl. It should just be said that way. Okay, and then it's Christmas in July. Pat and Diane, stand hands up so people can see. Pat and Diane, please go see them, get the details. There are some specific details you need to know about what you bring in, so do make sure you spend some time talking with them. It's only 3 weeks until it's Christmas in July. And we've added another component to Christmas in July, and I'm going to bring up Darlene and Kathy Burt to talk about that component and how it's related to our lovely support of the Samaritan Center. There you go. And
wow, I love that slide.
You get to share the mic.
Oh, Alex left. Thank you, Alex, for the slides. Isn't that beautiful? My lady?
I'm nervous. You're on fire, Steve.
You're never nervous.
May I just say you're on fire.
Really?
And I'm so glad. Can you guys hear me? I'm so glad that we're all in the stream together, that we're rowing down.
Yes.
And I just want to, in defense of John and I apologize for distracting him because we were having a moment back there because one of your metaphors was just like, boom.
Really?
So we were kind of talking about it, but at the wrong time. I know it was the wrong time, and it won't happen in the future.
There's never a wrong time. It's all right.
But you're on.
John
I
needed his name
enjoyed.
said out loud a few times. It just sometimes you need that. He wanted some acknowledgement, and he got it.
I love all the boat metaphors, and I'm thinking in my head because we have a sailboat, and my husband doesn't come very often. But I'm like, I want Jeff to watch this one on replay because all the boat metaphors and stuff and good stuff. But then I get, stop talking to Kathy in the back, John. And I'm like, oh no, Jeff's gonna know that's me.
You know, somewhere in there was something about taking on unreasonable fears.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh.
Another boom.
See
moment.
what good stuff this is? Oh my gosh. We
Why
are
you
all
up here? Why are
we
you
are
up
all on
why,
fire.
Why are you up here?
It's like a practitioner. It's one-on-one practitioner watch right here. Kathy's up here because she's a beloved member of our community for decades.
I'm taking that in.
Yes.
Thank you, Darlene.
You're perfect, whole and complete. Kathy was my amazing co-pilot at the Samaritan Center last Tuesday. As some of you know, I'm Darlene Bellis, by the way, for those that you don't know. And we provide a hearty, healthy meal made with love every second Tuesday of the month. We've been doing it for decades. Thank you, Virginia Nelson, who started that calendar. I get emotional every time I say her name. Kathy made from scratch this amazing chicken salad sandwich,
It
and they
was
loved
good.
it. And it was you had some. We had some left over. We served 48 clients, and they love it when we come there, and they love our food. I'm looking for some co-pilots. Sorry, Cindy, I'm gonna steal your little co-pilot thing. If you want to be involved in any way, maybe make a side dish. Or come see me for more details. It's a little tricky with timing, I'll tell you that. And it does require you to be available on Tuesday at 3, pretty much. Other than that, come see me if you want details. And I'm so excited about Christmas in July because one of my favorite parts is we do a canned food drive. So, hey, lighten your load. Look in your pantry. And they love individual, serve, the pouches, any canned food.
Expired and bring it in.
Up to even if it says expired, they'll take it a year after expiration. Their pantry needs are through the roof right now. So please, there's going to be a festive receptacle. A
You practiced
festive
that.
receptacle. Well, I was trying to think of another way to say it, and Alex and I were kind of giggling about it. During Christmas in July in the lobby, there'll be a festive receptacle in which to put your non-perishables. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, you did it.
So thank you all for participating. And
Just add too that if you feel overwhelmed by like doing the whole meal because there's components, you could just do the main course and then somebody else could do the side dish, and
vice versa.
or vice versa. And I would be willing to more than once a year do a side dish. I'm just saying that out loud.
well, yeah, you did the side dish and the main. Also, if you just want to make 20 servings, we did 48. If you want to do 15 or 20, it doesn't have to be the same thing, as long as we serve 48 meals. So I think I said everything. I forgot to say, hey, there's my beautiful, caring, creative, quirky community committed to consciousness. I think that's it. So look for your festive receptacle during Christmas in July.
All right. Thank you. You can hand that to Nancy on your way down. Okay. You good? All right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Nancy, please. What are you doing after service?
Sleeping.
After prayer. After.
I'll be at the practitioner room for anyone who would like prayer. And there's a box out in the lobby if you would like to leave a written prayer request. We will send it out to all of our ecclesiastical team.
All
How do you
right.
say that?
That's
It's
close.
Close.
Yeah.
Our E-team, we call ourselves. So we love you.
All right. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. And you may have noticed that our elder statesman, Mr. John Sheely, is back in the room. So when you head out, please acknowledge and give the man some love. He is a salt and a rock and a survivor.
There he is.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still here. He's still here.
Make a big entrance. Right on.
There it is. That's my man. Okay, let's stand to our closing benediction. She'll sing together. Okay, here we are. I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.
Right on. God is doing something wonderful as me. God is doing something wonderful as me. Something awesome and incredible, and only He can get the glory. God is doing something wonderful, incredible and awesome. God is doing something wonderful in me. God is doing something wonderful as me. God is doing something wonderful as me. Something awesome and incredible, and only She can get the glory. God is doing something wonderful, incredible and awesome. God is doing something wonderful as me. God is doing something wonderful as me. God is doing something wonderful as me. Something awesome and incredible, and only He can get the glory. God is doing something wonderful, incredible and awesome. God is doing something wonderful as me. Go to your table. I'll sit there. Boom. Now here we go. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember what day it was, and I didn't notice what time It's happened to a few people. But others, but Harold had problem with it. There's something going on with it.
If it's got an intermittent chair in it, I mean, I can.
Well, I mean, it's the only quarter table we have here, so if you want to take it at some point here.
Yeah, and then just when we bring it back next week.
I'll bring it on Thursday when I come from meditation.
Well, Randy needs to plug it in.